Hello everyone. Today's topic. Today's topic for the topic for today is triggers, and the one more topic which we'll be going through is select clauses. Okay. So first we'll see what is a trigger basically. Okay. Now, as a technical definition, a trigger is a stored procedure in the database which automatically invokes whenever special event in database occurs. Okay. So this is the technical definition, but actually what is a trigger? Basically, when we see what is actually a trigger, okay, a trigger is something, okay. Suppose let me give you an example. Okay. You want to insert the related information of an employee. You want to insert the uh, suppose let me take one more example where whenever a new employee comes, a mail should be sent from the organization to the employee for welcoming him. Okay. Now suppose this is at starting. This is done manually. Whenever an employee uh, an employee is employed by an organization, there is an HR who sends the mail to that particular employee. Okay. Now it is, if there's a 1 and 2 employee, it's good, well and good. Sending a mail is okay. But suppose there are 15-20 employees, so sending 15-20 mails is problematic. So what what the HR manager can do instead is he can create a trigger. Okay, he can create a trigger where what happens is whenever an employee joins an organization, whenever his information is inserted in the database of the organization, a mail is sent. Okay. Now what happens here, if you concentrate, whenever the data of the employee is stored in the organization, the storage, okay, that is nothing but storing of data. This triggers, okay, it triggers a mail. Okay, this triggers a program, and that program sends a mail to the employees. Okay, that program sends a mail to the employees. Okay, and that mail is a welcome message mail. Okay, now I hope you all have understood what is triggers. So in DBMS, what is actually a trigger, we'll see now. Okay, now here in DBMS, uh, you can have a trigger. Trigger is nothing but a procedure in which you can either have a trigger for a row. Okay, whenever a row is inserted or a column is inserted or added. Okay, or you can update for any DML operation: add, update, delete. Okay, whenever any of these three operation is done, either for row or column. Okay, either before inserting row or after inserting a row, or before inserting a column, after inserting a column, any of these DML operations done for either row or column, okay, a trigger can be initiated. So what is the syntax? What is the basic syntax of this trigger? First, what we write is create trigger name. I've said you either before inserting or after inserting. Okay, so you can use before or after, either for inserting, for update, or deleting, any of these three DML commands on the table name. Here I have used for each row. You can write it for each column also, and add the trigger body. So we'll see with an example. Okay. So first what we do is, before creating a trigger, we create a table. Okay, first we are creating the table, that is account table, which is having attributes account number and account and amount, account number and its amount. Okay, we have created the table. After that, we create a trigger for this table. That is nothing but we are trying to insert a trigger. That is nothing but let us see how do we write it. Create trigger name, that is insert sum before insert. Insert sum before insert. Before insert on account. So what is happening here? We are writing create trigger. And what is trigger name? Insert sum. Before insert on account. Before insert on account. Account is table name. For each row, set @sum, which is equal to @sum plus new dot amount. Now what happens are, let us see. Now whenever we write a create trigger, insert underscore sum, that is nothing but this is the trigger name. And whenever write before insert on account. Okay. Now what this statement means is basically whenever you're trying to insert, a row, because next line is for each row. So whenever you try to insert a row in the table account, okay, whenever trying to insert a row in the table account, so what happens, it triggers, okay, before inserting, because the condition is before insert. So before inserting a row in the table account, it triggers to add this sum. It triggers to add this sum, that is nothing but add all the amount which is inserted basically. So here what happens, what we are doing before inserting a row, okay, before inserting a row in the sorry before inserting a row in the account table, okay, what we are doing is we are setting, okay, that sum, okay. We'll see that we have to initialize the value of sum before using it, after using it, okay. So we'll see that sum plus new amount, whatever amount you are inserting, it is added to sum. So how is it done, we'll see it. So now we have created a table, we have created a trigger where whenever we are inserting a new row to an account table, before inserting it, what happens, we are setting a sum where the new amount, whatever you have written, it is added up to sum. So what happens here, after that I have to set the sum value which is equal to 0, because sum by default doesn't have any value, so we have to insert a 0 value in it. Now I try to insert, I'm inserting here 3 rows, okay. We can insert more than one row within a single line of insertion, that is insert into account values. Give the values for the first row, give a comma, then second row, give a comma, then third row, okay. You can insert like this n number of rows in a single line. Now what happens, we have seen there, whenever we are inserting, suppose we are inserting the first row here, whenever we are inserting this, the sum is initialized to 0, so 0 less 14.98, okay. After that plus 193.7.50, then minus the last amount is 100. So what happens, for the first time when the first line is inserted, 0 and 14.98 is added, so the value is 14.98. Then again when the second insertion is done, before it you will add the value, okay, with 14.98. After adding the value, when you are trying to insert this minus 100 amount, the new amount, you subtract the value and you get this total value, okay. Either this or the whole data is written like this, okay. So whenever you are inserting, just before insertion, what is done here, just before insertion, some value is 0, before insertion of the record, some value is 0 and 14.98. Then the next value is plus 19 or 28 something, plus, sorry, not plus, minus 100, okay. So this whole data will be displayed, or the amount which is stored will be displayed, that's what. And that amount we are storing in @sum. So let us see that. So uh, to get the output of sum, select @sum. Has is nothing but the ls value. You can directly write @sum, then you'll directly get this value, or sum as total amount inserted. So it will display total amount inserted and the value which is inserted. Okay. So the same thing which we have given here. Yeah, the same data which I've explained here. The create trigger statement creates a trigger named insert sum. Okay, we are writing a create trigger, its name. So what it does, it creates a trigger named insert sum that is associated with account table, because we have written here before insert on account. So account table, which this trigger is associated with account table. It also includes clauses that specify the trigger action, the trigger event, and what to do when trigger activates. Now, what is that we have used before? This is nothing but your trigger action time. In this case, the trigger activates before each row is inserted. That's what I've explained. Here we are using before insert. Now before insert basically means whenever you are trying to insert a data in the account table, before insertion of that row, the first thing what it does is it performs this trigger. Okay? That's what the trigger activates before each row is inserted into table. The other permitted keyword is after. Okay, so you can use either before or after. If it is before, then before inserting the row, it will perform that trigger. That trigger is initiated. The keyword insert in this basically indicates trigger event. So we have seen that before is trigger action, and that is nothing but before specifies the action, whereas insert specifies what event to be happen. That is the type of operation that activates the trigger whenever insert is there. So instead of insert, you can either also use delete and update also. Then the next statement for each row, that is for each row. Now for each row defines the trigger body, is basically the trigger body. So here what is what? Before is trigger action, whereas insert is trigger event, whereas the statement for each row is the trigger body. That is, each time the statement executes, each time the trigger gets activated for each row. And we have also seen what is set for each row. Set @sum equal to @sum plus amount. We have seen that. So set, what it does is it accumulate into a user variable that values inserted in the amount column. Okay, so what this set does is it's take the data all which is inserted in the amount column, because we need to take sum or total of all the amounts inserted. So the new dot amount means basically the value of the amount column to be inserted in the new row. Okay, this new dot amount is nothing but the value which is inserted. Okay, the value of the amount column which is inserted in the new row. That is basically 1.4 or 14.98, 1937.50 and minus 100. Those are nothing but new dot amount. Now after that, to use the trigger, what we have to do? The accumulator variable, that is nothing but sum, @sum. What we have to do is we have to set it to 0. That's what we use, set @sum equal to 0. Then we try to insert, because here we are saying before insertion, whenever we are trying to insert a row, before inserting of it, we are accumulating the amount value. Okay, so that is before insert. So what we try to do is now insert into account values, we start inserting. Now once we have start inserting, all the values of the amount are accumulated in @sum. Now, if I want to display the value, you can directly write select @sum, or you can also write select @sum as total amount to be inserted. That is nothing but dummy value, where the accumulated value or the sum of all the amounts will be displayed. So that is nothing but trigger. Now suppose if you want to drop a trigger, if you want to destroy, dropping is nothing but destroying a trigger. Okay, so you can just directly use drop trigger test dot insert underscore sum. Okay. And you can use more than one trigger in a database. Okay, and the name of the, because triggers name exists in schema namespace, meaning that the triggers must have a unique name within the schema, because you can drop a trigger but the name will be always same, so you need to have unique names every time in a schema. Next we'll go to SQL clauses. Now SQL clauses, sorry, it is a select clauses or SQL clauses. Let me take this. Now, this clauses which we basically use with a select statement. So basically, what is a select statement? A select statement is nothing but it is used to retrieve the data from the database. Okay, so the syntax can be either select column 1, column 2, column 3 and so on from that particular table name. Suppose we have student. I want to display student number, name and his marks. That's it. So what will I write? Select student number, comma student name, comma student marks from table from student. Okay. Now suppose I want to display all the columns of that particular table. So I'll write it as select star from student. So all the columns and rows will be displayed. Now that's what a query is given, where they wanted to display the student name from the student table. So the query you write it as select student name from student, and this is the output. Next, we'll see the clauses in the select statement. There are basically 4 clauses in select statement. The first one is where, next is group by, then order by, and the last one is having. Now, first we'll go with the where clause. Now, where clause is basically used to filter the data. That is nothing but in a particular row, if you want to get, if you want to apply some conditions on the set of rows to get output. Suppose, let me take an example. Here, what are we doing is we are selecting the student name. We are selecting the student name from student where the marks of student is greater than 50. Okay. The marks of student, suppose I want to give a condition here. The students whose marks is greater than 50, I want to display them. So what happens?